Hi, this is Charlie Calvert. Let's get started with Node.js on Windows Azure. You can come up to my website here where a lot of what I'm about to describe is actually detailed. You'd want to start by going here to the Windows Azure website. Then you'd want to click on Develop, and you'd want to go to the Node.js section, and you'd want to download and install Node.js. So that would get you started. Pretty straightforward, really. And then the next step here is start the Windows Azure PowerShell in Administrator Node. That would be installed after you completed the install. And then let's just find some place on our directory where we could do a little work here. I've got a source node directory, and let's create an Azure service. So you would just go new Azure service, and we'll call this one, we're up to 3. Why don't we create an application, a program, what they call a web role, running inside of here. So we're going to add a Azure web role, and we'll call it Service 01. And then we're going to go into our Service 01 directory, and you can see that a program has actually been written for us, a little kind of hello world program, which if you look here will either run at the Azure port that's been selected for you, or if that's not available, it'll choose port 1337. So let's go ahead and make sure we understand what we're doing here, and we'll type node, just run it outside of Azure to begin with, and we'll go node server.js. Now that means that the node web server is running. We'll come over here to a browser. We'll pick one that looks nice, and we'll choose localhost. And then we'll go to port 1137, and as you can see, it works. The next goal will be to try it inside of Azure. So let's close our web server by pressing Control-C. That closes the Node.js web server. And now let's make sure we're not running an Azure emulator by calling stop Azure Emulator. That stops the Azure Emulator. And now we're going to start the Azure Emulator. This bundles up our application, bundles up instructions to install Node inside this local emulator, which emulates Azure locally on our machine. And now you can see that Node is running at port 81 on localhost inside our emulated version of Azure. Let's switch over to a browser. Let's go to port 81. And there is our application. Nothing's changed, same application, simply running inside of Azure. Now, let's stop the emulator. And our next goal will be to publish our application to Azure itself. In order to do this, our first step will be to get credentials. So we'll choose Get Azure Publishing Settings and press Enter. And this takes us up to a copy of IEUC was launched, and it says, would you like to download your settings? And we'll go yes, and let's go ahead and choose Save As. And now we're going to save it into this directory where we've been doing our work, and we'll call our work Charlie02, or whatever feels right to you. Make sure you keep that extension of Publisher Settings. So we've gone ahead and saved that, so let's switch back to PowerShell now. And we'll do an ls, and now you can see our Charlie02 publisher settings are done there. So we want to import these publisher settings. So we import Azure Publishing Settings. Now you can see they've been imported. Now we're all set, we're ready to go, and we can publish to the cloud. To do that, you write publish Azure Service, give it a name, we'll call it Elvenware 008, and we'll also give it a location. I'm in Washington State, but it just seems like my luck is better when I try North Central US. So now you can see publishing to Windows Azure. This may take several minutes. And what's happening now is that our code is being bundled up again, and it is now going to be uploaded into the real cloud, not the emulated cloud. And you can see what's going on here by going up to the Management Studio and turning to your deployments here. And here you can see it's already started to be created up here. So I'm going to pause. This will take about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to actually install. So I'm just going to put things on pause, and then we'll pick up and I'll show you how to run the thing once it's up there. Here we are partway through the deployment. You can see that it created a storage account called Elvenware008. It was uploading the package, and now you can see it's starting to deploy things down here into the cloud. Put you back on pause again. Well, while I was waiting, I clicked on a little link there, and they're showing me the preview of the way this portal will look in the future. I don't know, I might be, you can see I'm in this preview mode. Welcome to the Windows Average Preview portal. So this isn't the one that's official yet, but it's obviously on its way. Well, many years have gone by, of course. We remember the Obama administration, several of the events of contemporary American and ancient American history that have taken place since we started this demo. But we're back here now to show you the program and how to run it. You click here on Elvenware08 in this new interface, and then it takes you to your production here, and you can scroll down and you'll find a link to your URL, and you can click on it, and then your program will start up, and you can see it here running inside the browser. So that's it. Gives you a quick overview of how to get started with Node.js running on Azure. Thank you.